Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Canadian Money Talk. I have a question here whether I think the US is going to do well going forward. So we'll talk about the stock market and the economy. So the US stock market has outperformed everything for the last 15 years except for 2022 when Canada lost less than the US. Will this continue? Or is the US exceptionalism gone? I think the US will do okay, but nowhere near as well as in the last 15 years. Goldman Sachs said a while ago that the US stock market will do 3% a year for the next 10 years because of a high market concentration, especially in a few dominant tech stocks, elevated valuations with the CAPE ratio near historical highs, and economic fundamentals and interest rate expectations that suggest slower growth. So will other countries get tired of what Trump is doing and cut the US out of their trade relationships, damaging the US economy? The answer is some countries and maybe. With tariffs and slower economic growth, I'd prefer Canada over the US, but I like emerging markets even more because of a young, increasing population, and the fact that investment and application of any technology in the emerging markets can harness the EM workforce who have a long time left to work just because they're young. The US population will flatten or even decrease in the short term with the whole US immigration thing that Trump is forcing. So can I foretell the future? Well, I like Canadian dividend payers because of their tax efficiency in my non-registered accounts. I still have about $500,000 in US stocks for growth investments. So to answer the question directly, back in March of 2025, I restarted my RRSP with ETFs when I transferred into Wealthsimple, and I still invested in the US, but I underweighted it. You just can't leave them out, in my humble opinion. So the US is about 60% of the world market cap, and I put 10% into the S&P 500, 10% into a tech ETF, which is mostly US, and then 20% into Russell 2000, which is US small cap. So about 40% instead of 60%. Feel free to have a look at my portfolio on www.canadianmoneytalk.ca. But to conclude, US will still be a major world power. I just don't think they're going to do as well as they did for the last decade or more.